All right, here we are back again for another episode of the Plant.Body.Soul podcast. I'm trying to vary my intros. Don't want to say the same words every single time. I am back with my co-host, Gordon Ogden. Hey, G, how's it going?
Great, how are you doing?
Good, thank you. And we're here with two of our fabulous teammates.
Hi.
We'll let you guess who that one is.
Oh my goodness.
Am I supposed to intro myself?
Who are you?
I'm Anthony Jensen, Tony Jensen, creative director here at Plant.Body.Soul.
Awesome, thanks, Tony.
And I'm Taylor. I'm the director of content for Plant.Body.Soul.
And we're super grateful to have you both here. We know it's going to be full of laughs this round, so no pressure or anything.
I haven't really worked on my type 5, but I'm ready to go. It's early in the morning. It's kind of when I'm best.
Okay.
I think everybody is best in the morning.
Yeah.
I think.
I don't know. Give me a couple hours. I really come alive around 2 p.m.
And that might stay the same for you, Taylor. I don't know. I hate to say the cliche, like, well, when you get older, but only just because we are a little older. I do believe that changes for most people around. What did it change for you? Mine was like 30, like late 30s.
That I like the morning better.
Yeah.
Than me. I've always liked the morning better.
Always? Okay. How about you?
I think I was forced to like the morning early. So
Okay.
then I got trained.
Okay.
And then I probably started liking early in the morning, like actually in my mid 30s probably.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But I was always the first to the office to make the coffee. So
You
I guess
had
I like
to.
morning.
Yes. Okay. I think it was around, my late, like 35 to maybe even a little later 30s where my clock just was different. And I don't know if it's different for men and women. Our brains are different. Our hormones are different. I don't know.
I still like to stay up late, but I also like
You
to
like
get
the
up
early morning. So you
I
don't
like
sleep
a good
lot.
3 hours
No.
of sleep. That's
crazy.
late, a little early. No.
I'm a sleepy girl. I need 8 hours and a nap. I would love to be up earlier, but man, my body just does not process when I haven't had enough sleep.
Well, that makes sense though. But did you know that as women, we actually need 9 to 10 hours?
I know. I saw that statistic and I almost cried because I already have such beef with the timeline of life. Like we only have 168 hours in a week. We're supposed to spend 40 of them working and at least 40 of them sleeping. That's crazy to me. 40 hours sleeping seems like such a waste of time. But I need it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
when your
Same.
body is regenerating and your brain is regenerating brain tissue. I mean, all of this stuff. This is the healing phase. So when you do so much work and you're doing, going, you definitely need just enough. You need enough sleep to bolster all of that activity for your brain and your body. So
But man, 9 to 10 hours a night is psychotic. Oh my gosh. And I also just recently learned a statistic about dogs. Like youth dogs and elderly dogs are supposed to sleep like 18 to 20 hours a
I know,
day.
isn't that crazy?
I think mine probably sleeps like a smooth 23. I'm going to be honest with you. She gets up to follow me around and to eat, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
she's got a big old body. She's got to lug around with her.
Which I think is just so interesting.
Yeah.
Their lifespans are so short, and you're supposed to spend like 85% of it sleeping.
Yeah, yeah. Aw. Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe it doesn't change for some people, night owls, but I do believe that as you age, you start to sleep less, and I think mornings are generally better. Like my dad, I look at him, he's 75, and he's up at 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, my dad too.
Yeah, that's next level.
Banging pots and pans.
Really?
Slamming doors.
Yeah.
Oh, what are you doing?
My grandma's sending me TikToks at 4:30 a.m. Like, look at this dog, isn't this
Wow.
funny? And I'm
But
like,
then
Linda, go to bed.
Then a hard nap around like 1 p.m. He does a hard
Yep.
nap.
There's a nap
it's like-
involved, the afternoon
the
nap, but then they
disco
go
nap.
to bed early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Does your grandma go to bed early?
No.
Oh, she doesn't. Okay.
My grandma's up till 11:30, up at 4. I'm just like, what are you doing, lady?
Wow.
Yeah, probably not enough sleep. There.
No.
Who knows? But anyways, we have some really important things to talk about.
Maybe we're just all stuck on the lack of sleep.
Yeah,
since
it's
we-
like
it's event season at
Right.
Plant.Body.Soul, so
Exactly.
nobody's allowed
we're
to
actually
sleep.
we're saying, how are you going to get ready to stay up after dark.
Yes.
You need your sleep. You
But
need your rest.
Yeah.
For
We
this
need a
amazing
soundboard.
event.
Yes.
With some buttons here. Pew, pew, pew.
Yeah.
After dark.
Exactly.
Hey,
What a transition.
we could upgrade.
I
some.
mean, I heard Tony's a DJ, so.
We have decks.
Oh yeah.
We should be putting you over there and filming you over there.
Should be, what was his name? Like the Ellen show. Like there's like all the DJs.
yeah.
I forget. I don't know.
Well, they always have
I
a
don't know
musician on
Ellen's
the late night
DJ's
shows.
names.
There's always the
Exactly.
musician
Yeah.
that's doing the background
Okay.
beats.
Well,
And I
next
think
year.
I
Tony.
feel like I grew up in California listening to like Rick D's on Kiss FM and stuff
Exactly.
like that, and he always had like
I
the
know.
sounds and things.
Did he?
Oh.
Yeah, totally.
Hey.
Yeah. Well, we do have a whole extra area. We could put some dope visuals back
Yep.
there, get you on the decks
ready.
making sounds.
It probably needs to be just a show, a TV show.
Hey.
That's a good
Uh
idea.
oh.
Uh-oh. We have a couch.
Okay. I said an idea.
seat.
Now we're gonna do it. We now have a TV show.
Yes.
It's on
Can't
Friday
bring-
nights.
Can't bring a group of creatives into a room and just start coming up with ideas, because then we're going to have to implement them and execute
I
them
know.
as we do.
But what do we do have for real happening on a Friday night coming soon?
We've got
After
Friday
dark.
Friday After Dark,
When is that happening, friends?
April 12th. I'm so excited.
And we're actually opening the doors a little bit earlier. I believe we're going 7 to 11.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So we'll have
Nice long party so you can come in, have fun.
Yep.
Yeah. What's After Dark? I feel like a lot of people who listen to us maybe are not 100% sure what it is.
well, Friday High Day After Dark is our nightlife version of our beloved, what started out as our beloved happy hour at our office. So Friday High Day was our happy hour that we started right when we first started our little business. And gosh, it was in the middle of COVID, and then we opened up to the world opened up again, and we actually started having people over. In fact, the first Friday High Day happy hour we had in our office, and everybody was wearing masks because it was still that time. It was like real dicey. We had just started opening up, and I think we were all like, God, we miss people and music. Can we please just get together?
Exactly.
You know, everyone
Can I
wear
take
masks,
my
it's
mask
fine.
off?
I know.
But we
Yeah.
evolve, and we are wiser,
Yes.
and you know, it continued as our happy hour for quite a few years,
Yeah.
and then we started our After Dark version because there's so many cool things that we love to do when we're using cannabis as a medium for joy or creativity or experience. So we thought we would bring all of our favorite things in a cool warehouse, art, and music, and food, and fun. And
This is number 5.
yeah, this is number of After Dark.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh!
The first time I met AJ was actually at an After Dark.
Wow!
Uh-huh.
Wow!
That was the second one, right?
really.
And we
Really?
DJ'd, Handsome Boys DJ'd.
Yeah,
Really?
Uh-huh.
that was the first time you met
Because
AJ.
that was like the first time
He had just
worked,
started?
and he just
Yeah.
started doing stuff, and I was like,
Wow.
"Oh, thank you so much." He was like, "This is gonna happen now. The dancer's gonna come out, and she's gonna be dancing, and then you guys are gonna maybe play something. Okay, there's."
Yeah.
So I was like, "Oh, thank you, AJ."
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
AJ wasn't available to be on the podcast today, but he makes a lot of things happen
Yeah.
for Friday High Day and a lot of our events and working with sponsors and vendors.
Yeah, we're super grateful to have AJ on the events team, and he definitely is a valued member of not only events team but PBS in general. So
For sure.
So the 5th After Dark, we're doing it at Warehouse 215 again with our partners. We love them over there, and they've been super awesome to work with. So we like to bring something a little bit different to each one, right?
Yeah.
And
It just keeps getting better
Yeah.
and better.
It does.
keep improving. And so this one, we're really going all out on the visual, and it'll be very whimsical, I'll say, which feels right in alignment with who we are.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Whimsy.
Lots of whimsy, lots of wonder and awe.
Mhm.
Anybody else want to say anything about?
Super excited about the music this time.
Oh, yeah.
Music's always been carefully curated, but our good friend Sean Watson
Yes. who was our
It's gonna be
first
awesome.
DJ for Friday Happy
I
Hour.
know,
Yep,
right?
exactly.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
So, super excited. He
He's
brings
coming
it
back.
a great time.
Yeah.
And he's going to go for 4 hours. He's
Yeah,
like,
it's
oh, that's
awesome.
my jam, a
Yeah.
long set. So
It's
I'm
it
about
is.
to take y'all on a
I'm
journey.
excited.
Yes.
Here's my thing. I feel like we should hire some like secret shopper, quote unquote, who are just
Yes.
actual like dancers. Like, because I
Yes.
feel like people are afraid to dance at Friday High Day after dark, and I don't understand because I'm like the music is so good and you're a little tiny bit high.
I
Get on
know.
the dance floor.
Yeah.
I
What
know.
happened to the choreographed
right.
dance breakouts?
I think you're right.
What
And
happened
we
to that?
we did
Oh my gosh,
have
flash mob, Tony.
Flash mob. Like, those are so much
PBS
fun.
Flash
Flash
mob?
mob?
Well, now we just gave it away. It's good. We're not going to do that.
No, I want people to be like looking
Thriller.
over their shoulder all night waiting for a flash mob.
Yeah, exactly.
we did actually talk about doing that. And the first Friday High Day After Dark we had a ton of people dancing.
Yeah.
It was in a different space. It was at the Croft. But then we switched venues, and it was just like, I think it was a little packed, and so there were some people that would dance. And what was that? 435 Collective was a second venue, and then we found our way to the warehouse, and nobody dances at the warehouse.
There's so much more space at the warehouse, and
Yeah.
I think this time around we've found a more optimal place to place the DJ, so that
good.
it's more centered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
In
I'm
the
really
round.
hoping people dance because it's such a
gonna
good
be
set
awesome.
every
Yes,
time,
yes.
and there's plenty of space, and it's a really good vibe. And I love to dance, so I'm just like, why aren't we dancing? Dance.
Well, hey, maybe we can.
We're gonna make it happen.
Can we do some searches for some dancers
we
on our
certainly can.
PBS? Let's do a social media post, shall
Yeah.
we? Looking for dancers.
Yeah.
a great
We're
idea.
looking for
a great idea.
dancers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I don't know. There's a lot of places to dance in Phoenix. There's a lot of opportunities too, but I feel like at a consumption event, at a 420 event, you don't get that option as often.
Yeah.
There's not always like live DJs, or there's not often a lot of space to do so. But this is like optimal dance area.
Yes.
It's so good.
Cool.
I think at
Agreed.
Warehouse 215, it's a great space too of like places to make that happen. Like whereas other places, it often depends on the event space. So it's like that is a great venue to be able to dance and yet make it still feel like it's a nice tight thing and you're in a
Yes.
warehouse, but it definitely does not feel like it's a warehouse. It's a beautiful old building with amazing
Stunning.
architecture and
Yes, if you
It did
haven't
an
been there.
amazing job with that. The
Yeah.
entire space is just so welcoming, and it's got
and with
it's got
some
everything you
whimsy
need,
in there,
really.
it
Yeah.
is going
with
to
the
look
whimsy.
so
It's
good.
gonna go
Bring the
crazy.
whimsy.
Yeah, I can't wait.
What are you looking forward to most, Jen?
Well, I always love the music. I mean, that's always awesome. But I really love the Canacula Wellness Lounge. Canacula is my baby, and having a space where we can just have a more of like a chill kind of vibey atmosphere. You can go and check out the Weed Maps Education Lounge and learn more about cannabis, especially if you're a newbie. We get a lot of people that are like canna curious, not necessarily a pro with cannabis, and learning how different cannabinoids affect the body, different strains, different modalities of consumption. I think it's really cool to have that. So we're going to have that education lounge. We're also going to do meditative coloring in there, which is one of my favorite activities. Like, who doesn't like to get high and
Color.
geek out on a mandala for, I don't know, an hour? I totally could get
Yeah.
lost. We also have some cool vendors in there. We're going to do massage therapists again. Weed Maps is bringing the massage. The Weed Maps lounge will have massage therapists, and we also have some live art happening in there. And yeah, there's just
the art. Yeah,
it's
really
gonna be
looking-
cool.
I
I'm
know
excited.
Taylor's looking forward to the art.
Literally always looking forward to the art.
Yeah.
I prefer the art more than the people, if I'm being honest. I'm just kidding. Not
Do
really,
we have
though.
somebody that you really like going to be there?
Honestly, I'm excited for anybody, but I will be honest. I have a special place in my heart for the Lady Egg, and
Yeah.
I'm excited
Yeah.
to see her. Anything she does is exciting to me, but watching her live paint, I think is going to be fun.
Yeah,
Yes.
And she's such like an interesting personality. It's really cool to know her. So,
Yeah.
she's a great
but
artist.
honestly, everybody who is doing live art is so amazing,
Yeah.
and I think it's like a special treat to be able to see like a little peek into the creative process a bit,
Absolutely.
because
Yes.
I feel like before working with Plant.Body.Soul, I really hadn't had an experience to watch live art before. And I feel like creativity is such like a private little thing. It feels very intimate to watch
Yeah.
somebody finish their painting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's cool. She's definitely a dope painter.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
excited for that.
We also have, is it Mary Jane
Mm-hmm.
art?
Yep.
Yeah, she's coming
her,
too.
Her work is amazing.
Yeah.
Super.
And then we have
Excited about
Travis. Travis Sabo is coming back too. So.
I
He's great.
love Travis. I love Travis. His art form is just so like expressive and bright, and I feel like it tells like such a really good story. Anytime I see any of his pieces like around town at a gallery, I know immediately that it's his.
Yeah,
Very-
totally. Very
recognizable.
identifiable.
Yeah, and he also posts his dog on Instagram sometime, which is really great.
Anything else anybody's excited for the event?
This is going to sound a little bit lame. I'm excited because we have EMS services there. And I was literally, listen, I was literally just talking to someone about how I feel like people really enjoy cannabis events, except for when they've maybe never been to one before, or like they're not an everyday like consumer and they like get a little exuberant and they accidentally overconsume. And that's really, really, really rough when you've not experienced that too often, or honestly, even if it happens to you all the time, it just sucks, you know? So having EMS there it makes me feel really good. And I feel like it's a really cool part of our event to know that like when you come in, you're going to be safe. You're going to be taken care of. If something weird were to happen and somebody were to get, sick or hurt, like you have people there to support you and who are going to make sure that you're okay. And I feel like that's one of our, I honestly think it's one of our best offerings as a Plant.Body.Soul event is that, we're going to take care of you. We're not going to
Feel safe.
We're not going to let you, get sick or green out or be stuck in a corner hallucinating because you accidentally hit the Zenko way too hard. You're going to be safe.
That's never happened
That's
to
never
anybody in
happened.
this room.
Never before ever.
Well, I think that's it might be a good time to talk about the Zenkos, actually. This seems to be the area of the event where a lot of our Canna Curious get stuck. Literally. We have some people that are not familiar with cannabis, don't consume it all the time and really don't know, they see this cool, glass cup contraption and there's some beautiful smoke, swirling about in it, and you sip it like you're smoking it, but you're sipping it, right? Yeah. And it looks cool and it's very eye-catching. But if you don't know that there is a concentrated form of cannabis in there, like from a vape pen, it can be really intense, especially if you're not used to it. So it's always best to approach things in a low and slow attitude. And I would say that if you are a newbie to cannabis and you don't know how you're going to react, you might want to ask questions about what's in the sample or the Zenko. Find out, is this a strain that's going to make me feel paranoid, or am I going to feel like I need to sit down and be locked in the seat for the entire time?
Yeah.
Is this best for new people? Maybe I take a little half sip and not a full sip.
I feel like people get caught up on, so a Zenko is it's a smoking accessory, and it's a little glass piece that vaporizes the herb or the cartridge into like a little glass cup that you can kind of sip instead of like pulling anything or putting your mouth directly on something. And a lot of times vendors will use straws just to keep it like really sanitary. But people don't realize like you don't have to consume all the smoke in the cup, or you can ask them to like do a smaller hit. Like there's ways to control how much smoke goes into the cup itself. But I feel like some people are a little bit competitive and they're like, well, you poured it for me, so I'm gonna smoke it. But there's so much to go around. We'd rather you be safe than overconsume on accident just because it was in the cup. But Zenko's a great product to have.
It is.
It's just it can very easily turn into something where you're just consuming more than you think you are.
Yes.
I love the Zenko that vaporizes flower.
Yes.
That's a real one. Not all of them do that. Some vaporize both concentrates and flower, and some just vaporize concentrates, from what I understand.
I think they just do flower or flower and
concentrates.
cartridge.
Oh, a cartridge. Okay. All right. So there we go.
Yeah.
And it's a cool contraption. But yeah, if you're somebody that leans towards anxiety and you're very cerebral, meaning you're in your head a lot and it's real easy to go there, maybe not the best option for you. You might want to sample a little micro of an edible or a beverage and get embodied. So you're not so, oh my God, I'm gonna die. And that happens. It happens. And it's not true. You're not going to die, but it can feel uncomfortable for some people.
And it would be irresponsible not to say that truthfully. But the good thing about Friday Heidi After Dark is there's a million options for everybody.
Right.
You can find actual like flower products. You can find concentrates. You can find edibles. You can find microdoses. We're going to have a 0 proof cocktail bar. There's all kinds of ways to consume. You don't have to take every single thing that's there, and you don't have to feel like you've got to rush to get everything, because there's options for everybody everywhere.
So I'm curious, what is the process of creating this aesthetic and the graphics for an event like this?
Is that
I'll ask you, Tony,
Yeah,
as the creative director.
Yes, creative director, graphic designer.
You know, it was funny when I was looking at the question of just like having to actually think about it, which it's not oftentimes. It's like I think things are in my head, and so I'm not really like actually thinking about it. I'm just kind of doing it of what I feel.
Stream of consciousness.
It is. It's a stream of consciousness, maybe subconsciously in ways I'm doing things that I don't, you know, it's just a feeling. So then to have to think about what my process is or what the reasoning for something was, to me, it's pretty obvious, but that's just to make a cool, you know, graphic. But I don't know if you guys like noticed in this sort of year's graphic, and you know, I think each year kind of builds off the previous year. And,
Sure.
you know, the owls and the themes, and what I love about our brand is being able to bring some of those assets into things and back into things, and now we have these like all these little pieces to be able to add. And for this one, it very much felt like one. I wanted to create some graphics that could be actually like event sort of carried out through the event, like as in like even just like decorations and you know, just like sort of these things that event planners, I've worked with them long enough, and you got to give them the sort of tools to be able to like build this event and carry it out. And those are really the best events, is when the theming is like all the way through it. And so I'm just curious if like you guys felt this as I'm looking at it and analyzing it. It definitely feels like it's out on the playa for sure.
Yeah.
All of these things
Explain
are
what the playa is to the person who
Okay,
doesn't
so-
know what.
oh,
Yeah.
sorry, I didn't know we were in the default. So Burning Man, I had gone for my first time last year, and with these lovely people sitting across from me. And, you know, Gordon's a seasoned vet, and really helped make the process amazing and really get me there. And he had been trying to get me there for a long time, and I knew it was something that I would love, but I had no idea that it was just like the artistic level of what people are doing out there, and the scale, and just from a creative standpoint of the sculptures that are built and the things that people are doing. It's art for art's sake, and for the creatives to do things for other creatives, and not, you know, on a business sense.
Sure.
It's and that doesn't often happen in the creative world that has to make money at being creative. So it just and now that I'm looking at it, it just feels like it's like out on the playa, and at night it's so much different. You see all these images of like the daytime, and you know, on Instagram it's all the dust and the long flowing dresses, but the nighttime is really Burning Man comes alive, and it's like a 3D video game where all these moving things are, you don't know how far away they are, but you see like Pac-Man just driving by, and a ghost, and then the ship, and the scale of it. So now that I'm like seeing it, is like very feels like that. There's like a horizon line, and like the colors, of course, like the lasers and all of it. But for me also to be a designer and have to do things that need to be functional, functional design, which is what people have a lot of struggle with often, to do sort of heavy creative, say festival poster art, which is a hodgepodge of names or logos, and trying to fit them in an aesthetically pleasing way. not always done correctly. But I look at old poster art from like the 60s and 70s, and like I definitely take a lot of my inspiration from that stuff, the print design. So like when I'm doing something like this, I want it to be like lasting forever, of like a cool piece of art that, you know, what somebody would want for on their wall.
Yeah.
So for this is like, I loved the doorway of like going into the doorway and you're going into the After Dark event. And, you know, I felt like it was a good presentation of having that all in the middle. And you're like, because that's kind of you feel like you're entering into our events, like into this like wonderland. And I don't know what else to say on it.
And we can
owls.
definitely get the
Owls are my
graphic
favorite.
up too in the
Yeah.
podcast
Yeah.
so people can see
Cool.
what you're talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
Like, you
Yeah, I know it's hard to describe, but I would say it's just larger than life.
Yep.
And I feel like, you know, even when I think AJ and Jen, you had seen it, it was just like, oh, there's going to be a lot of cool things that we can do as event planners for like bringing this actually to life. And which is kind of like Burning Man. It's like, what?
Yeah.
So that's
cool.
That's
I would
awesome.
like to also just point out that I feel like in an age of like everyone being a quote unquote graphic designer, just that, you know, Tony built this graphic from scratch with his bare hands. Every asset he put on there individually, all of the colors, the gradients, the layers. Like, it's a labor of love. And as somebody who sort of knows a little tiny bit about graphic design, nowhere near where Tony's at, I know that just took him such a long time to get right. And so just even the artwork to begin the process of Friday After Dark starts as a labor of love and as a piece of art, as does every step of the process to make After Dark come to life.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, it really is, and there's like tools in that toolkit to do that. It's kind of sort of like AI or ChatGPT. Those are just tools in a artist's, as Gordon likes to say, just an artist's toolkit or brush or whatever.
Toolkit.
Yeah, cool. But yeah, I think like, you know, it is, and it's got to feel right, and it's got to be us too. It's got to be Plant.Body.Soul, and I think all the time that's definitely. I think people are starting to understand that feeling and the vibe and the brand.
Yep.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I agree.
All right. Sorry. That was a real story there.
Wow. I feel like we never get to talk about like the graphics that we create for the events, because for the most part it's for promotional purposes, and of course every event needs a graphic, but each and every one of them is like hand designed. Every asset, every layer, every color chosen, like it's not a quick process. It's not something you just throw up online. It's something that Tony creates with love. So it's always great. It's nice to hear about it too, because we never get to hear about the creative process of graphic design.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's
well, it's everybody in this room. That's what we appreciate too, from other events and other things that we do. Those companies are doing this. It like out of a labor of love as well, and it's like it's pretty awesome to be able to have something of ours and feel that same way.
Yeah.
It's important. It sets it definitely sets the tone for an event. I mean, when you see a flyer for an event, you're pretty much judging the book by its cover.
Right.
Absolutely.
With that, you know, at
That's
that
your
point.
first impression.
Absolutely.
If the flyer sucks, I'm not going.
Yeah.
You're like, that
pretty-
doesn't
true.
seem like music I would like,
Yeah.
or so, you know, like
Or
you can tell.
you're just
It's
like, what is this exactly?
We're also in the age of like Fire Fest and like that.
Yes.
You guys saw that Willy Wonka exhibit that just looked like a nightmare.
I think that was AI created, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Exactly.
those posters I think are pretty indicative and reflective of how the events go.
Yeah.
And so if you look at a poster and you're like, that might have been made in Microsoft Paint, the event might feel like that too.
Agreed.
When stuff's spelled wrong. On your
Yeah.
flyers,
Spacing makes a huge difference, even just to the point of like, what time is this event? Because I can't read it, you know?
Oh, for sure.
That's funny.
Because we are an experiential marketing agency, what's the importance of making sure that this event After Dark is reflective of kind of what Plant.Body.Soul is, and making sure that people have a good time?
I mean, the experience is guest experience is everything, and I feel very strongly that not everyone pays attention to the guest experience when they're producing their events. From the checkout point or the check-in point to the flow of the event to the ventilation, especially if it's a cannabis event. I do not enjoy being locked in a big giant warehouse where there's no ventilation. It is the worst.
Agreed.
I don't enjoy consuming secondhand smoke like that from anything. So,
and then you leave the event just lit up like a Christmas tree, and that's not safe for anybody.
Yeah.
well, it's just you smell stale. Like the smell of stale smoke is not appealing to me. Maybe some people really enjoy that smell, and good for you.
Bottle it up and sell
But
it.
yeah, I it's like, and the food and what is there to drink and
The details.
What are the details? I mean, the small details matter, and I'm so meticulous with the small details, even about like, I don't want your cardboard boxes of your swag sitting out visible, like behind the table. Move
100%.
them so that they're presented nicely. Don't leave water bottles on surfaces. Just little things. Bust the tables. Trashes need to be
trash out, yep.
Taken care of, and
because people are paying money for these tickets. They want to have a good experience. They don't want to feel like the venue or the brand has like not really thought about them, or that they don't care now that they're inside and we've got their money. We don't care what their experience is like. There's nothing worse than that.
And we're creating an event that you would want to attend and like enjoy.
Yeah.
Right.
Isn't that the golden rule? Treat other people how you want to be treated.
Yes.
We're throwing events the way that we want to experience them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and we're not perfect by any means, and we use each event as a learning experience. And the first one we're like, oh, okay, this probably should be done this way. Okay, next one we've improved that area, and we've learned something new that we need to improve, and it's ever evolving. I feel like that does need to be. You need to be able to be fluid and evolve. We have a process in which we go over, post-event, what worked, what didn't work, what do we want to do next time, what did we learn? I think that's very important. But guest experience is ultimately the thing. You have to really take care of your guest, because why the heck would they come back?
Right.
If they're not the primary focus. And
I think because consumers have become so experienced in their experiences that the expectation is much higher, and on a subconscious level they may or may not know why they like or don't like something, as simple as the lighting, or
they just know it doesn't feel right.
It doesn't feel right. And
Right.
that awareness is what determines whether they're having a great time or not, and whether they're going to come back, and if it feels like a safe space. So that like instantly, am I safe here? And then is it too loud? Is it all of these little indicators that determine whether or not someone's having a good time or not, we pay attention to, and I think it makes a huge difference.
The sound. Oh, can we talk about sound at events? Ugh. I'm sorry, but like, if the sound is bad, I don't want to stay. I'm the first one out. If it's tinny, if the bass is too much, if it's reverberating, if you don't have enough sound, like another pet peeve of mine is going to an event that doesn't have sound in like all four corners. So like it's just like sound heavy on one side, and then you can't hear details, especially if somebody's on a mic.
Right.
Nobody in the back can hear you. Like nobody. So it's just, just an awareness of like, how is the sound in this container?
Exactly.
And if it's music that I don't enjoy, I'm out too. And there's something for everybody, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But that's important.
Agreed. All right. Taylor, I got a question for you. How are we promoting After Dark? What are some strategies that you're using this round?
My primary strategy is FOMO. I want you to feel like you're missing out always.
Amazing.
Number one.
Yes.
Definitely. We've got a great content team, a great team of creators who roam around Friday High Day After Darks and film everything and make sure we get you in your best light, having the best time of your life. And then we use that those experiences, honestly, to entice others to come and also experience it. So everything that we shoot is in real time, and it's just like people kind of being a part of the Friday High Day environment and having really delicious drinks and really tasty foods. We've even started implementing some interviews, just getting like from people's own mouths, like how was the experience? And I feel like that's the best way to promote for the events leading in the future.
Like person on the street interviews.
Yes.
Absolutely, yeah. Because I think that, I mean, you trust your peers more than anyone else. And so if your peers are being honest and they're saying, you know, I'm having a great time, or, you know, I'm excited that I came, or I got so much cool stuff from this event, I feel like that's the best way to get people to come. But primarily, I want you to feel like you're going to miss out on the best time of your life, because you will if you don't come to Friday High Day.
Exactly.
And I actually believe that.
Yes.
And then, of course, when we have the ability to, I love to run advertising on social media, because I feel like, you know, with the algorithm, you're only shown a very small percentage of people, especially if it's the type of people that you interact with. But I feel like our audience is so wide and varied that it's nice to just kind of force our way in front of them, just to say, hey, you know, we're over here and we've got an event on the 12th and you would really like it if you came. Here's what it's like.
Yeah.
And I find that people just resonate really well with that kind of stuff.
Do you want to speak to how an event like this that features some of the things that we feature can advertise on these platforms?
Yeah, that's a rough one. It's always a dangerous dance, figuring out exactly what material and what media to put online, because Instagram likes to bully cannabis businesses, and so do the other platforms. So we have to be very careful about how we advertise for things. And even in this podcast, we have to be really careful about how we speak about things, so that we don't get shadow banned or we don't get punished for just having a good time. So I feel like we don't quite lean too hard into the cannabis aspect. It's definitely there 100%. But we just want to be careful and be compliant when we're advertising for things like this, because we don't want to get in trouble.
Yes.
We've got some really cool projects that are coming out. A really, really, really cool project I'm excited about, that's going to help for everyone just to be able to be more successful posting cannabis content, educational content, or content from brands on social media without getting punished or demonetized or banned or shadow banned or any of the rainbow of words that cause us to be in trouble. Keep an eye out for that. You're definitely going to see it at Friday High Day After Dark, and we can all be a little bit more successful with posting cannabis online.
Cool.
Yes.
That's awesome. I'm looking forward to that
So
launch
excited
too.
about it.
I am too.
And so are we working with any influencers on some of our promo campaigns?
Yes, I feel like that's the other really great way to get a lot of different people to an event that they maybe just don't have any knowledge of, is utilizing our network of influencers to help promote the event to their particular audiences. We're really lucky to have a wide range of influencers who run a whole bunch of different industries, not just cannabis, but festivals, entrepreneurs, fitness, wellness. And these are all types of people that could also enjoy Friday High Day After Dark. It's not just for the heady consumers. It's not just for the canna curious. It's really for everybody. And so utilizing our network of influencers allows us to just have a greater reach for possibility for people to see it, decide that they want to come and check it out. So I'm excited. We've got some really great influencers.
We do.
I'm excited.
And also it helps too, just doing collaborations with the brands. I'm sure you guys saw Curaleaf is one of our title sponsors. Everybody loves Curaleaf, and so collaborating with brands like that makes it easy for their audience, for people who attend their dispensaries, to know what's going on and to be able to purchase tickets before the event, because it's definitely going to sell out.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Super excited.
I'm excited too. Is there going to be food there at all?
Yes, we're gonna have food. Yeah, you can't have a
Okay.
event with
no
cannabis
munchies?
and
Oh
not
my
have.
gosh.
And the munchies are non-medicated, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're
Non-medicated.
candies.
You'll be okay.
So we're gonna have our tacos back again. Tim Tim is back featuring our taco selection, and then we've got Savage Thirst Trap is doing some really cool, fun, like blended icy drinks. Those are fruity and yummy. And I know that gosh, I I think there might be one other vendor coming on, but I'm not positive yet. We haven't confirmed it yet, so I can't drop it. But yeah, I mean, who doesn't love
TBD?
Who doesn't love Mexican food, tacos, and a nice fruity drink?
Yes, good quality too.
Yeah,
super good quality.
All in.
We are gonna have a really cool activation that I can kind of tease, but we will have a speakeasy, and you got to find the speakeasy. And we are partnering with a very cool beverage company in that speakeasy that will help you stay vibrant through the event. So I won't say more than that, but find the speakeasy and find the beverages in the speakeasy. That's all I'll say.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, I'm excited that they're. I don't want to give it away. Could easily tease that because they're extreme.
I also, I do want to drop that we will be in the Canacula Lounge. You know, we didn't talk about this, but in the Canacula Lounge, I wanted to just share that we'll be offering the Scottsdale Research Institute and Field to Heal, their nonprofit, a space to be able to raise some donations. Cool. Some very cool things that they are doing. Scottsdale Research Institute is the only Schedule 1 drug manufacturing licensee in the country, and they are working with the government to research the medical benefits for things like MDMA and LSD, and they've already done trials with MDMA and with cannabis, and they're growing full fruiting bodied mushrooms, and they're doing a lot of really incredible work in the name of research and working compliantly with the government. But they do need donations to be able to continue the research, and I know they have a project that they're working on to create the laboratory that needs to be compliant in order to move forward with some LSD research. Yep. And so this turns out to be very expensive. Go figure. Very, very expensive. So there is a need to raise money for the facility to continue this research that is so necessary to be able to help more people find relief from things like PTSD and all sorts of things that they've been working on. So I definitely am excited to feature them as Canacula's nonprofit partner of choice for this event.
Very cool.
Excited.
Speaking of partnerships and collaborations, how do you feel like utilizing connections helps Friday Heidi After Dark to be successful?
Well, I mean, we also have another partner, with Plant.Body.Soul, and that's, Arizona Normal. And we utilize our partnership with them to be able to spread the word to more people that there is an organization that's helping advocate for you as a consumer and as a patient, and also making sure that, you have rights and that your rights. And so that's really cool that we have that education piece there at the event. Yes. But yeah, our partnerships, like our partnership with Warehouse 215, allowing us to even be in the space and working together with us. We were really grateful for that partnership. It's huge. Partnerships with our brands. We're working with some of the best brands in the state, and that comes from our lasting relationships with people. We are conscientious people. We are professional. There is a level of respect, I think, that's given to the people that we work with, and clarity and communication, and I believe that really helps us keep these partnerships. So the event is what it is because of our continued lasting, wonderful partnerships with the people that make it happen.
Very curated partnerships too, that of like specific, people that are in line with, our goals and
people in line with our and just longtime friends. Friendships with people in this area that I've been in this space since 2017. And some of these people are still my friends, and we're still working together, and it's cool.
And it's fun to have brands that may not show up at many other events happen to be at ours, and really excited to be at our event. And there's a number of brands this go round that they don't show up that often to cannabis events, and they may be even new to Arizona. They will be there, and I'm super excited.
Me too.
It feels really good to work with like-minded people who are kind of all reaching toward the same goal, because it's really easy to get derailed, I think, by someone who's just like not of the same like brain wave or just not on the same page as you, and the elevation level not being the same. But I feel like everyone that we're working with understands that we expect to host this event at a high level, and we need everyone to kind of reach that level and to be there with us. And everyone has been really great and willing to do that, which is exciting. So everybody's working at a high level, and we're excited for
in a very fluctuating industry. Ever changing.
Pun intended. High level.
Yes. Wow.
Awesome. Can't wait.
I know.
It's going to be great.
It's really only a couple of days, honestly. It's going to be here sooner than we think it is. Early bird tickets, I believe, have already sold out.
Yes.
So we're getting down to the wire. So if you want to come, you should definitely get tickets now.
I sold out already as soon as this podcast drops. It's just
that would be the dream.
Yeah.
But, just double check to make sure that you can still get tickets, because it's coming up pretty soon.
Yeah. Where can you find tickets?
You can find tickets on Plant.Body.Soul.com. Under our events tab. You can also find us on Instagram, Plant.Body.Soul, and we've got a link in bio. You can find our tickets there. The tickets are featured on Ticket Leap. You can always look up ticketleap.com and find us on. It would be Friday High Day After Dark. That is the event title. So you can find us really at those places. And
out and about on the town.
Yeah, we'll be out and about in the town. We're promoting like crazy right now, and we'd love to see you there.
Upcoming events and stuff. Yeah.
Well, I think that's it for us.
Yeah.
It's been fun.
Yeah, it's been great. Thanks for
being here.
joining us.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, it's nice to have our teammates here popping in. It's really great to be able to have people get to know you as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right, everybody. If you are listening to us on Spotify, Apple, whatever podcast platform you found us on, please go ahead and subscribe. Also, we'd love a 5-star review. It definitely helps our ratings. And I think that's all. That's all I got, folks.
That's it.
All right.
Ba-da-bum-ba-da-bum. Yeah, look at that. Timing.
Pretty proud of us. We kept it on topic today, Tony. Good job.
That's good. Thanks,
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.